I want to welcome everyone here to a brand new Built with Heart series. It's called Changing Lives. It's a series where we will explore the journeys of all the WordPress developers on the Codeable platform and how it has impacted their lives and career. We have a very special guest for us and on our first episode, a really seasoned Codeable expert, Tika. It is a pleasure to have you on here. I know you are always working, so it's great for you to take some time out of your busy day to do this new series.
No worries, Andrew. Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure really to
No,
be on
it's
this series.
yeah. Look, it is really great to have you on, and I know you are always working hard. If you're not working on WordPress sites, you are in the Slack channel sharing your memes. So it's always great. So yeah, I just wanted to. Before we actually get started into the kind of questions about changing lives, I wanted if you could give a bit of a kind of background into sort of how you first got into kind of building websites and into kind of working with WordPress.
Wow, it was quite a journey. Do you have 3 hours, Andrew?
We have 3 hours now, and then I will edit it out and I will take out everything that you've just said.
It's gonna be a short 5 minutes.
No,
Okay.
it's okay.
Yeah. Um. So I grew up in a middle class family in Indonesia, and I was always fascinated by computer programming. But during the Asian financial crisis back in 1998, things were pretty tough. So I didn't have computer back then. So I would hang out in bookstores, reading programming books, but that didn't really help much, right, for programming.
Yep.
Accidentally, the first book I read was about ASP. So that was probably my first web development experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. Later, I studied computer science. And then I got into university and I actually focused on AI back then. So I was on AI before it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, but back then there wasn't any really career path in AI. So when my father passed away, our family situation, money becomes really important, became the most important thing. And so my sister, she used to study microbiology and ended up working in a bank. And once I graduated, I joined a consulting company and they assigned me IBM WebSphere. So that was actually my real entry point into web development. Uh, Fast forward around 2 or 3 years, I basically started a startup that failed and then another startup that also failed. So it wasn't glorious at all, right? But then after two failed startup, me and my team we grew quite close, and so we didn't really want to dissolve the team. So we were looking into working on something else. We needed money to stay alive, so we tried going into freelancing. And back then, I think we choose right to focus on WordPress. So that's
Yes.
that's the story.
No, absolutely. And so, what would you say your biggest challenges were when you sort of early on in your career? I mean, obviously, you already said about the two failed startups, but like, what other challenges would you say you had early on in your career?
Yeah, honestly, that's probably it. I was maybe a bit too adventurous. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just finished working around 2 years in a consulting company. It was a big company and was really famous here in Indonesia. And I started we made an accounting software, a software as a service, and then that failed. And then another one, we basically created something like an e-commerce,
Yep.
but that also failed. So I was a little bit too adventurous, and people might see all of those glamorous startups succeeding. I was part of the one that failed, and well, that really impacts everything afterwards. The good news, however, that everyone that worked with me on that startup still works with me today. So I gain lifelong friends.
Yeah, that's super cool. Now, just before we get into your kind of experience working on the Codeable platform, can you sort of tell us what it was like, what your work life was like pre-working on the Codeable platform?
Oh, honestly, Codeable was my first big break. So after a few of my startup attempts failed, I was scrambling to find a way to support my team. So most people might have started fresh, but we were close, and we decided we should stay together as a team. And back then, our biggest struggle was proving that we were good enough. So I was pushing to raise our hourly rate. So we started at like $10, $15, $20, $25. But as soon as it hits somewhere around $30, the $30 to $35 an hour, clients started to dwindle. It was really tough. Then Codeable came along and it changed everything. So for that, I'm forever grateful to Codeable.
And that is the perfect reason why you are the perfect first guest to have on this new series, because it really has changed your life. So now we can sort of move into kind of working on the Codeable platform. So you sort of already answered why you applied, but how did you hear about the platform?
So when I faced a problem, I tried looking for a solution. And one of the solutions to be able to raise our rates was trying to have better reputation, really, right? So I started looking for ways to build a stronger reputation. I started looking around, and I found Codeable. That's when Codeable came in onto my radar, basically. So I tried looking around Codeable. I tried looking at the experts list, and while looking around, I found Lucian. So Lucian was a Codeable expert and still is a Codeable expert at
Yeah,
the
he is.
moment.
He is.
And we had been working together for years. I have no idea. I have no idea. So I reached out to him, not because I wanted anything. I just want to let him know first that I was thinking about applying, and because I didn't want to ruin our relationship, or basically, I just want to make sure that he was okay with it. And honestly, he turned out to be incredibly supportive. So he sent my name to David, and that really opened the door for me.
Yeah, look, I mean, it just shows that like it really is a great little community on Codeable. Experts helping other experts, and even experts trying to help other work people to join Codeable. Now, the screening process, I know it changes all the time. You're quite like a seasoned expert. So, what was the screening process like for you when you first joined?
I honestly think that it wasn't particularly hard on the technical level. So I think a lot of people can actually pass the technical requirements. What most people might not realize is that Codeable, and I don't know, maybe even Codeable itself doesn't realize this, is looking for a specific kind of people. So we are gamers, right? Uh, I call it a battle mage.
Yes.
So battle mage is someone who's not only strong technically, but they also have a soft skills like to communicate, to collaborate, to connect with clients. And to be honest, there are plenty of amazing magicians or warriors out there. But Codeable asks for a really specific kind, which is a battle mage. So to be in Codeable, you need to have a mixture of both. And I just think that that's one of the things that people don't really think about when they try to apply.
Yes, you know what? That's a really great point. And obviously, on Codeable, we do like skill chats, which are all internal. And on those skill chats, we do talk about soft skills. And soft skills are, yeah, I would say half, yeah, at least half of the skills that you need. Yeah, it's one thing to have the actual technical skills, but the soft skills inside the workrooms is super important for sure. So, when you joined, what was your first project and how did it go on Codeable?
I want to shout out to Oliver, to our
Yep.
friend Oliver.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think he remembers this at all, actually, but he actually helped me land my very first project. So it was just a small CSS job for Avada, but I was so nervous. And also, I also made the rookie mistake. So I accidentally posted a comment for Oliver on the public room. So
Yep.
it was the baptism of fire of Codeable, making that mistake really. So it was just a small CSS job, and Oliver jumped in, told me he would help warm up the workroom, and then he stepped back and left the project for me to handle. That support meant a lot, and honestly, that experience set the Codeable tone for me. So Oliver, if you ever see this, you really made Codeable feel like home
You know
for
what?
me from the very
I'll make sure he watches this episode. Look, you know what? I have a similar experience. Like, it's such a great little community that like. And like when you first you join the Slack and people know you've just started. And like I had a similar experience where other more seasoned experts would see you in the room and that sort of help you to try and land your first project. So yeah, like I think there are a lot of experts that have a similar experience as you. So you have worked on other freelancing platforms, and so what would you say that the biggest difference is working on the Codeable platform than it is working on the other platforms?
Yeah, honestly, there are plenty of differences, but I think the biggest one is that Codeable feels more like a family. So there are camaraderie between experts, and technically we are competing with each other, but it feels a little more like a sibling rivalry, right? We push each other, but we also lift each other up. So I think this raised everyone to a new level, level greater than when they first enter Codeable. And the end result is actually client happiness. So I don't think many clients or even other platforms, right? Because so many platforms outside of Codeable, everyone wants to make their own platform, their own expert directory, without realizing that it takes more than it's not just a list. It takes way more than that.
Yes, absolutely. And look, we sort of already have touched on the Codeable community, but like if you had to expand on it and even expand onto the client side as well, how have you found the kind of overall community feel, expert and client?
Well, as for expert, I think I found a family of in Codeable. Everyone in Codeable feels like family, and unlike in other platforms, we actually know each other, we support each other, we lift each other up, we teach each other, and we help each other, and that's what the most wonderful thing about Codeable. About as for clients, I think that depends on what sort of expert you are and what sort of clients you attract and you try to get. So some people they can basically they can basically work with everyone. For me, I tend to become friends with my clients, and I know that maybe sound unusual, but I have visited my clients on other country. They have visited me, and I will meet another one next week actually because we happen to be in Japan at the same time next week. So that's the kind of client that I really like working with. And honestly, I think almost all of my clients tend to become my friend at the end of the project.
Yeah, that's you know what, that's super cool. And I think like even having like you have the client and experts are working in a workroom, and because that workroom was always open, it does leave the door open. You could always reach back onto the client super easy. Like it isn't having to send a, like a cold email or something. So I think that helps as well. So to kind of move on to sort of how Codeable has kind of changed your life on a professional level, how would you say it's impacted you? Has it improved your skills?
Oh, I think Codeable changed everything. But most importantly, I think it opened me to a world of WordPress professionals I have no idea existed before. So a few months ago, I was at WordCamp where we met. And honestly,
Yep.
I don't think all of that would have been possible without Codeable. So Codeable really opened the world for me. And in terms of lifestyle, my lifestyle hasn't changed much. But in terms of professionally, I get to know people, and and it allows me to see the world really.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, look, I mean, having working around such a skilled group of WordPress developers, it does make you become a better developer too. Like, and so on a personal level? Has working on Codeable kind of helped you travel more, given you more freedom?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Just just by going from work camp to work camp, I've seen a lot of the world. So in terms of yeah, just in terms of that, because uh, I have friends all over the world now, not just in Codeable, my clients, not other experts in Codeable, my clients, but also I start to know even more people outside of that community. So there are plenty of reason for me to go, and I will feel really sad if one day I can't go to a work camp, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, I've seen you at a few WordCamps now, and it's so great at every WordCamp. You know that you will see like a big group of Codeable experts, and Codeable has their own events during WordCamps, which is super cool as well. What is a standout project and client experience that kind of has really stuck out for you during your kind of experience working on Codeable?
There are plenty. Especially, I tend to get uh, quite close with my clients. I try to understand their problems. So I tend to get close to everyone. Uh, I think one thing. So one client said something I will never forget. So it was an agency that hired me through Codeable. So I ended up working as both developer, but also I managed the project. I basically interact with their client. And by the end of our work together, so we worked together quite a long while. The person I work with said not to me but to Chris, and then Chris told me, my and I paraphrase this a little bit. My dream is to one day able to handle clients just like Dika. So I was I I I was I was speechless. I mean, uh, I tried. I always try to do my best and to care for my client. Uh, but I've never heard anyone say something that kind about me in my entire career. So knowing that someone noticed, it's honestly brought tears to my eyes. Honestly.
You know what? That is super sweet for sure. I have to ask you. So, anyone who is out there and watching this and is not a Codeable expert, and they are working in the industry, they're working with WordPress, and they're considering applying to be a WordPress expert, but they're sort of not sure if if they're ready or not. What advice would you give that person?
Well, maybe good luck, mate. But I do understand because getting an interview with Codeable can be nerve-wracking, especially because the wait list feels like forever. So
Absolutely.
if you yeah, so you feel a lot of yeah, there's a lot in there are a lot of things that you just want to make sure works correctly, because those whitelist you've been waiting you've been waiting for your application, and now it's time. So I do understand. That's what I felt as well. But what I would say is this: first, have a backup plan. That's for sure. Especially because the wait list is quite long. So just make sure that it's not the only thing you do. And second, remember that your soft skill matters way more in Codeable than you think. So while you wait, keep working on those skills, and they will make a difference. Getting accepted in Codeable is just part. It's just the first thing, the first journey. There are still plenty more afterwards.
I'd say that's a super good point. It's only a part of the journey. After you're
Yeah.
accepted to be an actual successful Codeable expert, I think that is where the soft skills really come into play. Now, you've said how incredible it is working on the Codeable platform. If you had some advice how Codeable could improve, what would you say?
So I think there is one area with big potential, but I think Codeable is already they are already working on this. I'm pretty sure it is not in its final form yet. But I think if Codeable can identify what each expert is really good at, not just in the technical level, but also on the soft skills. they could probably assign work depending on their soft skills as well. So not just depending on their technical levels, because we have some experts that's just like amazing sales. Like I have no idea. I have no idea. Those amazing sales, and there are those of us that's like really good customer service. And matching the expert and their soft skills with the project is something that I think Codeable is trying to do, but I think it's still a work in progress.
Actually, I think that they are in the process of kind of trying to match experts and kind of form like different smaller groups that specialize in certain things. So yeah, that is some really good feedback. So the big question is, what's next for you? Do you have any exciting new projects or any sort of big plans for the rest of this year and then coming into 2026?
Not really. So right now I'm just trying to level up. I think both in using AI and also in creativity, because honestly, AI kind of excites me, but also scares me at the same time. So I think it is a good thing to learn more, to be more productive using AI, but at the same time, to try to do things that on the creative level that AI couldn't do. So those two things. But that's life, right? So it's change, and it's always an opportunity. AI allows me to do things I couldn't do before. It allows me to scale my work and operations, but at the same time, it's a little terrifying.
Oh no,
So I think,
yes, yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's yeah. So I think for the rest of 2025, it's just a few months. It's just trying to level up myself, both in using AI as a tool to improve my processes, and then also in creativity, because those are the things that I think going to be really important.
I totally agree that it's exciting, but it certainly can be scary because yeah, it's incredible how much work it could actually do and how much better it is at doing tasks. So if you could sum up your Codeable journey in one sentence, what would it be?
Codeable, because life is an adventure.
That was great. That's all we sort of have time for. I really want to thank you so much for sharing your story. And just like I said earlier, you really are the perfect first guest to have on here because, yeah, I could certainly say that Codeable has changed your life.
Thank you for having me, Andrew.
Thanks everyone for watching this episode. And if you are just watching this and you are interested in sort of getting a WordPress project started, I can highly recommend jumping on to the Codeable platform. And if you are just a WordPress dev who is interested in perhaps joining Codeable, feel free to reach out to them and yeah, hopefully start the process of becoming an expert. And then hopefully one day being on this episode and sharing your story. So thanks everyone for being here and see everyone on the next one.